Okay, this is for OffGridNZ. I hope this helps show you what I just did. Oh man, sorry. I've had the components for a while. Right, that's shore power. That's the only extension cord coming into the house. It's what I use whenever I have to work on the inverter or adding batteries. Before, because I thought about this, I was like, there has to be a better way than causing a spark in my shed. I need to leave that open actually. So I thought about marine grade bus bars, which is what these things are here. They're also known as a terminal block. For those of you that are into cars, shoot, DC terminal block. These suckers are rated to 250 amps, right? Like I said in the previous video, I'll never pull more than 30, give or take, because whatever that uses, plus this is a 15 amp miter saw. It's strong enough to run the miter saw and the AC in short bursts, but the AC runs without a problem for about 4 hours off of this setup. I did this for not just functionality, but ease of serviceability, because before I had the batteries connected to one another and the solar charge cables, which are these right here, right, coming off of this MPPT charger, would be connected to the batteries. And now, right, the lights are on. That extension cord runs to a gang box that is hooked into all the in-wall wiring. So now if I ever have to replace a battery, for example, don't spark. See, I can disconnect the battery, remove it. As long as the two leads don't connect, I'm okay. If I ever want to add a battery, I can just plug it in to the series. Obviously, I'll do it at night, so I'm not putting too much of a strain on the charge controller. And then with a 14 mil, just give it a nice snug turn. Put this back up here, right? I'm using about 52 watts at 13 volts, which is very minimal draw actually. So then the cover just covers the positive leads here and the negatives, and obviously they're under the inverter, so the inverter will have to fall off of its 4 screws before I have to worry about something hitting it. And the only thing I have above the inverter is this shelf with some small tools and so forth. But I have some starboard, which is what this stuff is. It's also known as king board. It's made for boats. Set that there, and then nothing can hit the terminals, cause it to short, that kind of stuff, and protective layer of junk. And then yeah, that's basically it. It's not, I know it's, people make it out to be rocket science. The one guy that I follow on YouTube that has a large following, his name is Will Prowse, Prowse, right? And Will has a pretty good following on YouTube. Just making noises back here. There are plenty of YouTube channels that will show you how to run a smaller setup like this for not a whole lot of money. I'd say between the panels, I have 200 USD, 220, 240 USD. The wiring, the bus bars were $30. Good investment. I don't have a DC amp breaker here because I'm not running anything that is direct current off the batteries. Basically because I don't have any DC tools. If I had a DC to DC transformer to charge the batteries, to be more efficient than using the DeWalt the DeWalt battery chargers. It'd be great. But eventually I want to get 2 more, right? I want to have 4 kilowatts of storage against a 2 kilowatt peak inverter. If you had something like this, dude, and you have them in series, I would go with 2 watt 2 watt battery cables, or I've seen people use bus bars. Oh, that's where the extra cables went. Look at that. As you can see, one of those positives is black. And I was looking for this when I couldn't find the set. And now that I have it, it's too late for me to change it, because these will get connected to the next 2. So I'll use those for the next 2. Bus bars. Not bus bars, but they use solid connectors, like solid plate aluminum pieces. I have right back here, you guys can see it, that silver piece next to the wood. That is 1/8 inch thick by 1.5 inch angle. It's I wanted to use it as a bus bar to go from battery to battery and connect it, because that'll handle more amperage if it's a solid piece of aluminum. But then I don't want to have to deal with, what if I have to replace the battery and disconnect the battery, shift it, get caught in the terminals, and then cause a fire or something to arc. This is as arc proof as I can make it. There is no moisture in this, off of this wall, as you guys can tell. There's nothing on the floor. The only thing that has some moisture is the window unit, but that doesn't run all the time, or ever, mostly. And then the workhorse of it all, my Victron 75 volt capacity, top capacity, to 15 amp solar charge controller. It's an MPPT charge controller. I should have bought the bigger one when I had the forethought about doing it, but I just thought I'd try it out first and see how I like it. And trust me, this right here is a lot better than that PWM controller. This is 30 amp PWM versus a 15 amp MPPT, and this is more efficient than that one was. But that one had the added benefit if I could plug in USB to charge my phone. But you know, if I ever wanted to run something like that to charge my phone, I'll just gator clip it to the batteries, the terminals, and then charge my phone off of that. But that won't be a necessity. All right, so that's it for me, man. I hope this helps you with yours. These are the TCB worth batteries that I bought off Amazon. They're great. They weigh about 44 pounds. I think they're about, 35 kilos. I'm just estimating. I'm not sure. I'm American. Excuse my stupidity, but this works for me. I mean, I'm in it, the whole kit and caboodle, installed with all the parts I've had to buy. $600, 200, 300 for the batteries. Another, my math is off, let's say less than $1,000. Less than $1,000 with the bus bars, the really thick gauged battery cables, the automotive cables that are 4 gauge. These are 2 gauge battery cables, but I'm not drawing more than 30 amps at a time, so I'm not really worried about it. The only thing that stays on all the time is my mini Bluetooth adapter that's up there, a little PCB board that runs those 2 speakers. And then the inverter stays on. It draws 51 amps, sorry, watts. 51 watts times 12, that's like what? I want to say 4.5 amp draw right now, just on the lights and the Bluetooth adapter. And then when I kill the lights, it drops down to like 3 watts, which is what the inverter is using for its maintenance to keep itself on. But like I said, I'm not in here all the time to work on projects, so it charges. Right now, if you had a daily draw, I can cycle these 100% all the way to the bottom and back up again. It has like 10,000 life cycles, so it'll be over 10 years. I don't have to worry about replacing those batteries. I may get eventually a nice 48-volt inverter if I ever decide to get another array going on me. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, thank you for watching Leo Builds It. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good rest of your night. Bye.